Hey everybody, this is Destroyer24 back again with another fire walkthrough video. This is going to be episode 2, and we'll basically be running through the first section of the game. There's still a bunch of tutorial stuff that will have to be gone through, but once you finish the tutorial stuff, you'll be basically set free to do whatever you want. We're looking at probably the... excuse me, we were looking at the first section of Unicorn Way. This will be getting you up probably about to level 5. And once you get that done, then you're going to be looking at probably... once you get that done, you're probably going to... you're going to be getting your next spells. You'll be enrolling in Ravenwood, and basically all I'm going to do is I'm just going to be setting us up to be going to... I'm just going to be setting us up to go to the 3 streets. Actually, give me just a second real quick. I am going to be... You know what? Never mind. You know what? Never mind. Let's just get into the video. Start by talking to the headmaster here.
Welcome to Ravenwood Academy, young wizard. And normally, this is where you'd be enrolled and sent to your classes. But times are not normal. There's some kind of supernatural incursion in Unicorn Way that must be dealt with immediately. I wonder... You've demonstrated such potential, I think practical experience will serve you better than lectures. Care to put your talents to the test?
Yeah, because I think that honestly I'd be more entertained going and fighting a whole bunch of enemies than sitting and listening to my professors talk about how certain schools are better than others.
Splendid! Time is of the essence, so I'll teleport you there directly. Seek out Private Connolly, the Wizard City Guard in charge of that area.
Wait. Teleport me there? I didn't consent to your magic. I'd rather walk, but it's pretty obvious I don't have the choice in the matter.
Welcome to Unicorn.
Where did you come from?
There are creatures here who will attack you if you get too close to them, so stick to the task at hand.
Whoa, young student. The street's very dangerous right now. Is there something I can help you with?
Did you hear Gamma too?
Wizard, do you see the symbol above Private Connolly's hair? That means he has something important to tell you. Go speak with him.
Okay, well... I guess.
What's that? You say the headmaster sent you to help us? Well then, you're just the person, or wizard, I've been waiting for. This used to be a pleasant street, but we've been invaded by hordes of strange creatures.
Used to be a pleasant street. Well, considering all the banners depicting a skeletal warrior and the thorn thistles all over the place, yeah, I'd say so.
The guards and I have been doing our best to push the creatures back, but we're no match for their dark magic, especially the undead.
What are your spears gonna do against undead anyway?
Maybe your fancy wizard magic will do the trick.
Yeah,
Go
that's...
battle a few of those lost souls, then report back to me. Good luck.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
To battle the monsters, run up to them on the street. When you get close enough to them, they will summon a combat sigil, and you will be pulled into combat. If you want to avoid battle, you can keep safe by staying on the sidewalk.
If you can drive away some of these lost souls, we'll be in your debt.
Okay. Some meaning a couple. Also, this area is one of probably, if not the busiest area besides the common, so you're bound to see a lot of new people running around and doing things, probably either for spell quests or for or they're on the same part as I am. Also on these first-time fights, you want to make sure that you're picking up these red wisps every battle, especially if you're a fire wizard like I am, because you'll end up having a very short lifespan if you don't. This piece of gear gives us some extra health. We can go ahead and equip that, make our lives a little simpler whenever we're fighting these guys. That was simple enough.
Beaten by a mere student wizard? Come, souls, let's get lost somewhere safer. While your character is transparent, you are safe from combat, but it only lasts for a short time. Get to the sidewalk before it wears off.
Yeah, beaten by a mere student wizard, says the enemy that is literally the weakest enemy in the entire game. I literally have, I don't know, what's 418 divided by 55? Something like what? I have like, what, 8 times your health?
That's turned the tide. We'll follow your lead and start pushing these ghostly things back. But I'm worried we won't be able to drive the phantoms away for good without knowing why they're attacking us. We've got to find out what's behind this. Another intrepid student, Sirin Nightchant, also came to help. Maybe he's learned something useful.
Oh, hey there, I'm Sarin. You're new here, aren't you? Well, I for one am very glad you're here.
You're too lively for my taste.
I couldn't help but notice how you took down those lost souls. I have to say, I'm quite impressed by your spell-slinging skills. When I heard there was trouble on Unicorn Way, I rushed right over. But then I saw what's out there. Skeletal pirates. Skeletons I can handle, but skeletal pirates? Pah! Yar! No thank you! Pirates give me the heebie-jeebies.
Why are you scared of pirates? Makes more sense to be scared by the skeletal factor.
Excuse me, did I hear you two talking about skeletal pirates?
Didn't ask you to bust in.
Know exactly what we're up against. Do you think you could battle a few skeletal pirates to see how tough they are? Great! I'll mark their location on your map. Thank you so much for doing this. Good luck!
Ooh, press M to access your map. You'll notice several points of interest, including the locations of enemies. Because you'll be engaging in combat, it's imperative you know how to regain health and mana. If you need to boost your health, collect the red wisps you see along the street. Ooh, if you need mana, collect blue wisps. Remember, casting spells costs mana, and fleeing combat drains it completely. So keep your reserves full.
This is something that you need to remember, especially if you're going through the long dungeons, the later worlds. Not to mention the fact that they're color coordinated, like Gamma said, so they're easy to keep track of. When you're out in the world, blue wisps will always appear in the main safe area. So, for instance, in Wizard City, it is going to be the Commons, the shopping district, Ravenwood, and Old Town. For red wisps, they appear in areas that have enemies. They will allow you to heal up.
Go battle a few of the skeletal pirates on Unicorn Way. The guards will appreciate a report on their combat tactics.
Didn't you literally just tell me to do that? Oh, whatever. Also, she gives you a ring. If you want to do it, go ahead. I'm not going to do it because they're very easy, because this area is literally easy. It's very difficult to die here. The last fight is where you're most likely to die. As you can see, these guys had a deeper color name than the previous enemy. They also have more health. So the color denotes how tough they are. Yellow are the lowest level, orange are medium level. Also, you have to cast a spell within 30 seconds. Yellow are lowest level, orange are medium level, red are considered elites, and they have more health. Purple is considered a boss, and you will usually not find them wandering around in the open.
Ye got guts, little wizard. More than us, to be sure, but ye be no match for that which rattles in the darkness.
Yeah, very punny. This we can't use. It's too high of a level. This fur-lined hood.
Oh, wow! You made it back! I mean, how'd it go? What did you learn? The pirates warned about a rattle in the darkness? See, this is what I was talking about. Pirates are always creepy and frustratingly vague.
I don't know. Seemed pretty clear to me.
What is clear is that some evil magic has emerged here, and we're going to need more than a handful of guards to stop it. There is a powerful, ancient being who may be able to help us understand the dark forces we're facing, the wise seraph, Lady Ariel. Not only does Lady Ariel possess strong magic, she's also the warden of the ferries, and they keep her well informed. Perhaps she's heard something about this rattle in the darkness. Go speak with her in the hedge maze at the far end of Unicorn Way.
This hat we can't equip, though. This will be helpful. This will be extremely good to us until we are able to get a proper hat, whether by buying it from the bazaar or from natural acquisition. I'm also going to go ahead and leave you guys a tip. They don't explain this till later. It is a very, very long run to the back of Unicorn Way, so I do have a mount in the bank that I'm going to be equipping that before next episode, along with a pet. But if you look down here on your compass here, there are 5 main buttons that you can do here. You can either press the compass. This will put on these markers, which will help you point out your way. I'd recommend doing this if you are newer to the game. As I am not, I'm going to go ahead and leave that turned off. Then you'll notice 4 other buttons. This button here with the 4 arrows will take you back to the Bane safe area of the world you are in. This one will take you to your home. It will automatically take you to your dorm room, which is the home you get at the start of the game. Or if you end up buying a new home that has a spiral door, it will take you to that one that you have equipped. This one means mark location. If you use this, it will take approximately 1/5 of your mana, but it'll allow you to transport yourself back to the last location you marked immediately. So we're going to go ahead and hit this button, and this will allow us to get back to Saren Nightchant once we finish all that stuff down in the back of Unicorn Way. And then you just press this button in order to recall to your previous location. There's also something else back here. It's this little guy here. This will be covered in a future video whenever I go over the quest line for him.
Halt! What purpose brings you into our hedge maze? Forgive me, young wizard. These dark times make me leery of new faces. But now I see the light within you. We've much to discuss.
Ignoring Lady Oriole for a second, there is actually something that I will let you know about the hedge maze. There is a wooden chest that will spawn in one of these mazes. Usually you can see the name tag over the maze that it is in. I don't think there's one in here now, but if there is one in here, it is usually fairly easy to get to, because even though it's a maze, it's not a super complicated one. It's just basically a few passages with multiple openings. You can actually go up to the walls and claim the chest through the wall if you don't want to go through the maze.
The evil forces that loosed the undead upon Unicorn Way have also corrupted my precious fairies. Please, you must help them.
Okay then, that's interesting. Well, obviously no one could have seen that evil corrupting good, but
Vile bone cages have appeared along Unicorn Way. They are filled with a mysterious dark magic that corrupts all fairy folk who venture near them. Dispel the dark magic in the bone cages, then bring me fairy dust from those it corrupted. It may reveal to me who is behind this atrocity. It pains me to say it, but the only way to obtain the fairy dust is to wrestle it from the dark fairies in combat. Try to be gentle. Once you've dispelled the bone cages and collected the fairy dust, return to me immediately. Good luck, young wizard. May the light guide you.
alright. The quest we just got is known as a multi-goal quest. You have bone cages that you need to open. These are very simple. Run up to them and interact with them by using X. There are 4 of these. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got a defeat and collect quest. If you play the game for long enough, this will quickly become one of your most despised styles of questing. The reason being is because there are some instances where you will only be able, or you have to collect a ridiculous amount of stuff. For instance, upwards of 6 or 10. You will also have there are later worlds that are basically only these, and it makes it really annoying. There are some instances where you have to defeat the same thing over and over again. This one's not bad. The dark fairies go down rather quick, so this one isn't as bad as some of the other ones that you will come across. Also, you will see these lying around every once in a while. These are called reagents. They are essential for crafting and getting certain high-tier gear in later worlds, so I'd strongly recommend picking them up whenever you see them. Also, these dark fairies are what I was talking about in terms of the elites. They physically say elite in their name. Generally, especially in later worlds, they will specifically have higher health and higher resistance to their own school, and will sometimes have more powerful spells. So these dark fairies are going to be the first ones that might give you trouble if you don't know how to deal with them properly, because they do know a buff spell, and they are the first mob that you know to use a buff spell. They're also the only mob in here, other than the final fight of this area, that use a buffing style spell. Oh look, our first fizzle. Fizzling is, well, I guess I should explain accuracy. Accuracy is basically a dice roll. It is a certain percent chance. All spells have a different percent chance of being cast. So for instance, my Fire Cat has a 75% chance of casting, versus this Dark Sprite, which has a 85% chance of casting. So this one will cast higher, but mine is more powerful. That's the trade-off. The 3 elemental schools, Fire, Ice, and Storm, will fizzle more often, but they do tend to do more damage.
Now that terrible cloud has been lifted, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you!
You hear a tiny, joyful voice call your name.
Thank you for helping us, kind wizard. Your courage and benevolence will not soon be forgotten by the fairy folk.
My eyes weren't playing tricks on me. So there was a wooden chest over here. You might have been able to barely see the text, but basically, just run up to the wall, prompt will pop up, hit the X and it'll give you a small amount of gold that scales to whatever world you're in.
You've cemented your reputation as a hero to the fairy folk, young wizard. With the bone cages dispelled, I can help the other corrupted fairies in time. Now we must root out who is behind this attack. Please, let me examine the fairy dust. Is that? But how? The fairy dust displays scars of a dark magic banished from this world long ago. Could it be? Rattle in the darkness?
Why are you sounding so worried? I thought you were an ancient and powerful being. Couldn't you have just dealt with this on your own?
Rattlebones. In life, a ruthless tyrant who was banished to the underworld for his crimes. If I focus, perhaps I can sense his location. Oh, so much darkness. No, my vision is obscured. All I see is a tower ringed in bones. Siren Nightshant knows Unicorn Way. Perhaps he can help. You must hurry. Here, take this broom. It will allow you to travel to Siren much faster. Now fly, and may the light guide you.
You've received a temporary mount that will expire after 1 day. You can also purchase permanent mounts from mount vendors or the crown shop. To equip a mount, press B to open your backpack. Next, click on the Mount tab and double-click on the mount you wish to use.
Quickly, you must ride to Siren at once. Ask him if he knows of a tower ringed in bones. Go.
we could use the enchanted broom if we wanted to, but since we set a mark back there, we don't have to. These seared shoes would technically help you, but we've already got plenty of fire resistance from our hat, and our current shoes are better because they offer a little bit of a health bonus. So we'll go ahead and hit this button down here. This button down here will instantly teleport us back to Saren. And just like that, you saved yourself about 3 minutes of walking.
Hello! You were gone for so long, I was beginning to worry you'd run off and joined a skeletal pirate crew. What did Lady Oriel have to say? Oriel thinks an underworld tyrant named Rattlebones is behind all this? Wicked. Let me think. He's in a tower, ringed in bones. Well, the skeletal pirates do seem to be concentrated around the old archives. Try looking there. Here, I'll mark it on your map.
Reagents often like to consolidate around these towers or materials. So do these chests, so it's worth checking around them every once in a while. This guy is your first big, quote-unquote boss. He's only ranked as elite because he only has 20 more health, only has 20 more health than the Dark Fairy, but he was considered a boss monster back in the day. He does drop some pretty unique loot, those 2 unique loots being his higher tier duels, which are fairly rare. He also drops a couple pets, but most likely we won't get either one of those because those are both exceedingly rare to get.
Good work, my thrall. This could be the tome Bannister seeks. Now what's this? A wizard? Excellent. I could use a combat break. Let's play.
He does have a, both he and his minion both have a damage debuff on them, so it makes the fight a little easier. The best strategy for this fight, anyway, is to get rid of the Dark Fairy as soon as possible, because that will help negate a lot of the damage coming into you. I will also go ahead and mention that, like all mobs and all the bosses, well, mostly like all of the bosses in Wizard101 in the first arc, the Malastare arc, Rattlebones has a natural attack that has basically an unlimited cap on it. So if he ends up casting that on you, which he did right now, you can actually lose most of your health in one hit if he has it buffed. That's the main attack you have to worry about in Wizard City, because they will easily do enough damage to take you out and kill you within a single hit.
But the Dark Master's plan is already in motion. You haven't heard the last rattle in the darkness.
In his haste to leave, Rattlebones dropped the tome he was holding. It could be important. Perhaps Saren will know what should be done with it.
Got the same shoes. These can be sold for gold at the bazaar.
As you walk back onto Unicorn Way, you can't help but notice that the dark magic that was previously choking the street seems to have abated.
You did it, didn't you? You beat Rattlebones! The darkness plaguing Unicorn Way is lifting. Look! With Rattlebones defeated, the guards should be able to drive away the rest of the undead horde. Ooh, that tome looks important. You should take it to the library in the Commons. Harold Argleston will know what to do with it.
These boots we will actually equip instead of the rough sponge shoes. These give you an extra 2 flat damage, and any extra damage you get early game is extremely helpful.
Well, hello there. I don't think I've seen you in the library before. I'm Harold Argleston, Master Librarian Extraordinaire. You say you recover this tome from an underworld tyrant who is going to give it to his dark master, Malistaire? My, I do believe this is a matter for Headmaster Ambrose. You should take the tome to him at once. But before you go, allow me to reward you for your heroics. Please, accept this treasure card on behalf of the denizens of Wizard City.
Treasure cards are special one-use spells of various schools. You can purchase treasure cards from vendors or craft them yourself.
I don't know whether this is supposed to be a visual bug or an audio bug, but apparently Harold Argleston is saying in Gamma's voice all of this.
Press P to open your spell deck. Treasure cards are listed under a special tab and are placed into the sideboard of your deck. During combat, right-click a regular card to discard it. Then select Draw to bring out a treasure card from your sideboard. Remember, unlike regular spell cards, treasure cards can only be used once, so use them wisely.
this spell will come in handy later on in the game, especially later on in Wizard City. So we'll go ahead and do exactly what he said. We will hit P or hit the spellbook and click the deck icon. I will be doing it visually for you just to make it a little easier on you. So just hit the spellbook here. You'll be hitting this button here, which goes to your spell deck. You'll be going up here to where it has the gold and silver card up in the top left corner, and you'll just hit the sprite in order to put it into your deck. If you want to take it back out of your deck, just go ahead and click it again. Also, something they don't tell you is the spells that are down here, which are known as item cards. They are called item cards because they are purple. You can actually remove them from your deck, and there will be an X over them whenever you. There will be an X over them, and they won't show up in combat. Normally, the ones that I like to get rid of are the for this particular school, you want to keep the Imp, Heartbeat, Firecat, and Thundersnake. The rest of these you can go ahead and press to put an X over them, and they will not show up in combat. If you were doing another school, I would recommend replacing the Dark Sprite with for whatever other school that you have. I'd recommend doing the school spell of your choice rather than just deleting these four. You can set this up however you like, but generally the more cards in the deck, the better off you'll be. The reason why I choose these four spells in particular, Thundersnake, it is a Storm School spell. Storm has the highest damage per pip of any of the 7 schools of magic. Storm will usually one-shot all enemies. Fire has the next highest damage of all the schools, and it has slightly higher accuracy, so you definitely want to keep this in. Both of these are normally a gambit. I usually interchange for whatever enemy I'm fighting, depending on what resistance they have. Obviously, keep Heartbeat in. It is one of the few healing spells that you have that is 1 pip and you can cast it any time. And keep Imp in because it has the highest accuracy out of all of these spells. In order to get back to your normal spell deck, just go ahead and hit Spells, and it will take you back to your standard spell deck. To close this, you can either hit Escape twice, because Escape will initially bring you to Options, or just hit the Close button. Alrighty, let's go to Marlambros. Like I said, the Commons is usually the most busy area in the entire game. I have got a fairly powerful computer, and even still, the amount of people that are here causes my computer to try and spike.
Oh, good, you're back. I'm anxious to hear your update on Unicorn Way. Evil darkness summoned from the underworld? Oh my. Rattlebones, you say? But he was banished centuries ago. How could... Oh, malice there. Of course. But why? Rattlebones was searching the Unicorn Way archive for this tome? Well, let me see what it is. On the trail of the Order of the Fang. Oh, my stars. I will certainly look into this. While I do that, you need to attend to the matter of your long-delayed enrollment. If you are to truly master your magical talents, we must induct you officially into our academy. I'll send you now to Mr. Lincoln, our registrar in Ravenwood. He will introduce you to our professors and help you begin your studies.
From time to time, you'll see icons appear on the right side of your screen. These are tooltips. Click on a tooltip to open it. Many people throughout the spiral will contact you through tooltips to announce new features, events, or spell quests. If you miss a tooltip, look for it in your tooltip log by pressing Q and clicking the top left icon.
This tooltip is just explaining the potion that we just received. If you wanted to dismiss these, just go ahead and hit your right click. Your potion here, you can have up to 4 of these on a wizard. Your 4th one does not come until much later. You can only get 3 in the main arc. What these do is they completely replenish your health and mana, no matter what level they are at. Most effective is obviously when they're empty. And the way you refill them, there is a vendor over by the fairgrounds, which I'll go ahead and show you right now. There is... So if you go here and up this little ramp over here past the headmaster's house, this is the fairgrounds. There are two ways in order to restore your potions. You can either buy them from Hilda Brewer here. The cost will be proportionate to 1, how many potions you buy at a time, and 2, how high your level is. The higher your level, the more expensive your potions will be. The free way that takes a little more time is by doing mini games. The most effective way is to go here into potion motion, get yourself a score of roughly about 1800. Hit the X that shows up in the bottom right. Go ahead and then replay that three or 4 times to get all the potions refilled whenever you get your 3rd potion. Normally this never looks like this. It's usually bustling with students. Aside from this, you will only see Malorn Ashthorn actually sitting out in Ravenwood, and that's just due to the situation with the death school.
Ah, you must be the new student I've heard so much about. You made quite a name for yourself on Unicorn Way. I'm Mr. Lincoln, and I just have some quick paperwork to get you enrolled. Signature here, initials there, and a lock of hair here. Are you allergic to unicorns or eyes of newt? Good. That takes care of that. To complete your enrollment, come meet your professors.
Welcome. I am the professor of the Ice School, where we teach thaumaturges to endure like permafrost, withstanding all attacks.
In other words, Ice School has the highest health and the highest resistance of any school in the game.
While in the Storm School, we instruct young diviners to strike hard, fast as lightning, defeat the enemy before they know what hit them.
Like I said earlier, Storm School has the highest damage of any of the schools.
We pyromancers of the Fire School prefer to carefully fan the flames. Utilizing damage over time spells, we slow burn our enemies to cinders.
Literally what she said, damage over time spells. You'll be able to see one once I get my rank 2 spell because I am enrolled in the Fire School.
Commanding the elements is indeed impressive, but Theurgis of the Life School seek harmony with nature, which gives us the power to heal others.
Life also has an impressive health stat, but what it lacks in resistance, it makes up for in sheer healing power. They have the most healing spells out of every school in the game. Their most powerful ones can bring you from 3 HP all the way to max instantly.
Sorcerers also seek harmony, symmetry in all things. Balance is unique magic from Crocotopia, which supports and enhances the other schools.
This is only partially true. Yes, it does support and enhance all the other schools. Their main blade is a universal blade. They also have buffs that go to the different triads. So in other words, an elemental blade will buff will buff storm, fire, and ice all at the same time. Those blades cost a pip, but that's due to the fact that you're putting 3 blades on. They have no prisms like all the other schools, which, in short, prisms convert your damage school to the complete opposite. We'll learn about that later. Your balance actually uses uses different style spells that actually hit for different schools in order to get around the resistances for bosses in of their own school. The balance is a very difficult balance is an extremely difficult school to play if you don't know how to play it right. I plan on doing a walkthrough of that at some point.
Fireballs and flowers. Freshman magic, that. All wizards summon monsters to fight for us, but only the best conjurers dare study the ways of myth.
Myth, its special talent is basically after a fashion debuffs. You have the main spell they have is something known as Earthquake, which is a blade and shield removal. Their later spells are also focused towards shield removal and hitting. They have the second highest hit. They're basically Storm's opposite. They're basically Storm on the spirit side of the scale. So, but their main gimmick is summoning minions. They summon a lot of minions to help them because early game they don't have the firepower in order to support themselves on their own in combat. Also, something you will learn about Cyrus very quickly is that he is extremely rough in character, but he does grow on you.
And I'm Malone, not, exactly a professor. We haven't had a real deaf professor since the last one turned evil and destroyed the school, so,
Destroying the school? Not quite.
But I can get you started at being a necromancer. Our death spells drain health from enemies, damaging them and healing ourselves at the same time.
This is exactly what it sounds like. So the rank 2 spell that you get for death is your first drain spell. And the way drain spells work is they hit for a set amount of damage that can be buffed, but there is no range to them like all of your other spells. It is a set amount of damage. You hit for that amount of damage, and then half of what you hit for gets turned into health. Death School is extremely easy early game. I would very much recommend it. It's a very easy school to play, just due to the ability of them to survive for so long.
Ah, yes. I sense a spark inside you. With the right training, it will become an inferno. Let's go to the fire school.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't consent. Oh, well. I guess I'm in this toasty place now.
Welcome, wizard, to Mistress Dahlia Falmea's School of Pyromancy. You must return here often to learn new spells and expand your talents. And as the fires within you burn to even greater heights, I will call you back to teach you spells too hot for non-fire wizards to handle. For now, I have the Fire Elf spell to get you started. Train swiftly, then return to Mr. Lincoln to finalize your enrollment.
You're already learning multi-pip spells? Oh, splendid! At the beginning of each round of combat, you gain a pip. You use these, like mana, to power spells. Some spells, like this one, take more than 1 pip to cast. To use it, pass a turn, or cast a 0 pip spell to build up your pip supply.
So, going over this real quick. The spells in your school, you can only get The spells in your school you can only get by training them, and to all of them have a prerequisite. So in other words, if I got up to the level and I didn't train any of these spells, I can't just go and train Phoenix. I have to go through and I have to train all of these spells before it. Some of the spells you'll see here are actually you don't need to train unless you absolutely want to. For instance, Immolate here you get at the end. You get halfway through the second world, no matter what level you're at. So I strongly recommend doing the spell quests as a first time. The rank 10 spells have a lower spell quest that have a lower level for the spell quest than it does to actually train them. Excuse me. So I'd recommend going through and doing the spell quest first in order to. I'd recommend going and doing the spell quest first in order to get the authentic experience for it. But right now, we'll train Fire Elf. And it's automatically been added to our deck just due to the fact that we have space in our deck to spare. I don't know what this is. Basically, she's just telling you about. Oh, I remember now. She's basically just telling you about damage over time spells and how they work. But I can give that in a more clear and concise manner. If you look at the spell card, it says 100 with an additional 210 fire damage over 3 rounds. So the way it works is whenever you attack, this 100 is your initial hit. The extra 210 is spread over 3 rounds. So at the beginning of the enemy's turn, it will damage them for 1/3 of this 210.
You've met your professor. Great! You can train spells in your school for free, but to learn other school spells, you must spend training points.
Yeah, so essentially what he said, in more simplified terms, I can only learn spells out of the fire school for free. If I wanted to go into a different school, say if I wanted to go into the storm school, I would have to spend training points, and I cannot train the storm school at the exact same pace as I would train the fire school.
Here, I'll give you one now. Use it to start training a secondary school. And if you change your mind later, see me to buy back training points.
We're actually going to hang on to this training point. It'll come in handy later on in the game.
Anyway, now that you're enrolled, you get your own dorm room to store items and decorate however you want. This is the boys' dorm here, and this is the girls' dorm. You can also use the Go Home button to reach your dorm room from anywhere. Once you get settled in, report to the headmaster.
I'm going to go ahead and grab my pet and my mount out of here. In order to do that, if you have multiple wizards, you want to go over here to your bank. There's 3 tabs here. The bank option allows you to see items that you've stored here. These are inaccessible to other players. They are only accessible to you, and they will not show up on other accounts. Your backpack, it just shows what's in your backpack. You don't really have to worry about this. If you want to swap something over to your bank or shared bank, just go ahead and click on the item. You're going to click either move to bank or move to shared bank, and then select the amount if you end up having more than one, like the rough spud shoes that we have. In the shared bank, you'll see that I already have some fire school items. We're going to go ahead and move those fire school items over to our bank because we can't use them right now. As you can see, these are level 50, so we're not able to use them at this moment. We won't be able to use these until much later. So we'll go ahead and move these to the bank. We'll go ahead and move this to the bank. This will be moved to our bank. This is our mount. This will be moved to our backpack, but it'll be equipped probably next episode in order to give you an idea of how much of a movement increase that you will get out of using a mount. This is our pet, and this all will also use, I will also stick in my backpack. It will give you a warning here. It'll take out all of your pet energy in order to move this, so you can't just transfer it over to a new wizard immediately and start training your pet instantly. That was a balancing thing that they made in order to keep people from transferring health pet energy up items over to different wizards repeatedly and having them train a pet all the way up to epic within a span of 40 minutes. So we'll go ahead and move that to our backpack. We'll hit yes. This is a weird visual bug that happens every once in a while. So sometimes you'll have to move it out of the way. Where did you go? I'll figure it out in a second. Gonna go ahead and move Malistair's Dragonfire Cloak into our bank. Now we're gonna go ahead and move both of these Senator pieces of gear into our bank. Apparently I have 2 of these in here. In that case, I am going to go ahead and move that one to my backpack, and I'll show you how to quick sell items that are... I'll go ahead and show you how to quick sell items so you don't have to worry about that. There's actually several of these in here, so I will go ahead and move all of these items that I have more than one of, because ideally you only want one school wizard per account. So we'll go ahead and move anything that is more than one into our backpack. This will give us a little extra gold in order to get started in the early game. I don't think there's anything else that I need in here. No, it doesn't look like it. Let's go ahead and double check. Something you will be given later is something known as spell elements. This is used for upgrading your spells. I'm just going to go ahead and move all of the spell elements for... I'm going to go ahead and move all the spell elements for the fire school into my backpack, and those will all be saved for later. Jewels. This Fire Giver Ruby, I was going to stick in Princess Sasha once... I was going to stick in my pet once we got it up to the appropriate training level. So we'll go ahead and move that to our backpack. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to quick sell now. So in order to quick sell, go ahead and go into your backpack. We are going to hit the backpack tab here or press B. Now in order to quick sell, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit this button down here. This will, and this is one of 2 options that'll allow you to get rid of items that you don't need. The other one is feeding to a pet, but we won't worry about that at that point. In order to do that, just go down here, and once you have something equipped, once you have something in your backpack, we'll go ahead and hit feed to pet. Right now we're going to quick sell. So for no auction items, this is what you want to do. You're going to go ahead and select it by hitting this check mark here. And you want to do this for all of the no sell, and you want to do this for all of the, you want to do this for all of your no auction items. that you don't want. Selling at the bazaar is very similar, but you actually have to go somewhere for that, so we'll not worry about that at this point. Once you're done and you figure out all that you want to sell, just go ahead and hit this, which will say sell 5 for 2,415. This value is the amount of gold that you'll get. This is the amount of items that you're selling. This will give you an overview, basically like a receipt, and it'll show you what exactly you're selling. If you were selling Crown's equipment, it would give you a second option because Crown equipment you can only get it for free in certain ways. So we'll go ahead and hit sell, and now those are out of our inventory and we don't have to worry about them clogging up either the shared bank or our backpack. We also have some extra gold so that we can go shopping with, which I will be doing off camera. Common seems to have quieted down a lot more. Sometimes that happens. Oh, apparently I added Dreamsong Seraph to our pet tome. I'm wondering if that's because I ended up accidentally moving it to our bank. Whatever.
You're officially enrolled now? Then let me formally welcome you with this new healing spell. Let me also introduce you to our resident advisor, Abby K. Doodle. She can tell you all about our many electives when you have time. But on to more serious matters. It seems the troubles in Unicorn Way were but the tip of an evil iceberg. While you were gone, chaos erupted all over the city. Undead run amok in the streets, and our former allies have turned against us. Malistaire must be behind this. Your victory on Unicorn Way makes you the perfect person to deal with this crisis. I foresaw you might save Wizard City. Now's your chance. Go to Old Town and talk to Sergeant Muldoon immediately. We must set things right and discover Malistaire's goal in all this. Good luck.
One last word before you embark on your quest. I've tried to answer most of the questions you'd have, but there is much more to tell you. If you haven't looked into your spellbook yet, click on the book in the bottom right of your screen. Click on the question mark tab. Many of the questions you might have are answered in the help pages. Oh, good luck, young wizard.
Yeah, I tried to, I'm going to try to explain most of this stuff as we go along. The help pages are fairly difficult to navigate, so I'm trying to explain this in a way that'll make it easier for you. The person that just appeared on the right-hand side of the screen is Dueling Diego. Dueling Diego will allow you to get certain spells that you won't be able to get, but in order to get those, you have to do PvP, which costs crowns, and I don't feel the need to do that. He also teaches you a lot about the combat basics, so do that if you are having issues understanding exactly what's going on with combat. But in terms of that, we are going to focus on getting through the next zones next episode. I hope that all of this has been very informative and entertaining to you in at least some way. So with that going on, I guess I will see all of you in the next one. Bye!